Marin while the fight's going on, and you're like, "Ha! I have 2K net worth. You have 20K net worth. Hope you enjoy your nightmare."
One of the other heroes we've seen come a bit more into the meta is the Witch Doctor, which I'm surprised we don't see a little more these days. Like, I guess you kind of need to use it to counter the high armor, high HP heroes because the Maledict is so useful, especially against something like a Timbersaw. You know, the high armor really doesn't get impacted at all by the damage that you're able to put through. It just keeps on ticking and ticking.
Maybe if Trilane versus Trilane was a little bit more of a thing, but I don't see Witch Doctor coming back other than that. And yeah, I guess maybe the heroes where Maledict is super value, but it's just so many of his spells are just so unreliable, and Voodoo Restoration is just garbage. That hero basically only has 3 abilities, and they're 3 pretty good abilities, but I think until we see significant changes or buffs or something on Voodoo Restoration, it's just he's always going to be a little bit unpopular because of that.
Maybe with a Chen. Voodoo Rester with Chen might be okay.
Maybe, but it's just, you have to... The problem is that you have to compromise your positioning so hard as Witch Doctor to ever really use the Voodoo Restoration. It only ever feels like it's like, oh, out of combat, I can top up my core, right? It's not like, in the middle of the fight, I'm going to save him by going and standing next to him with Voodoo Restoration.
Or maybe when you're like chasing for another kill, you keep your team in fighting fit fashion. Just for a little bit of alliteration there. But we got a Storm Spirit, so another one that can really make use of the Ink Swell coming from the Grimstroke. It allows you for that instant pop. It means that the Pangolier isn't always able to get off that Swashbuckle.
Well, they better pick somebody that can hit buildings, because right now they have literally 0 building damage, and also the building damage, I guess you can always play like Void Spirit in the side lane. Dang, this looks like a good Ricky pick though. My word. I don't know what Sparking Arrows, I don't want to put too much on the idea that like they're already guaranteed first, but I think there maybe is a little bit of that here. I do think the Storm Spirit's a decent pick, but it also seems to me like Sparking Arrow, like, what do we kind of feel like playing? What do we want to see if this particular strat works? Some teams have already been treating this like a scrim. Profit for...
Sparking. Gives them global presence, gives them push. You can go into your Sprout to kind of sort of dodge Ricky. You can just build a 4-staff, and it still gives you that little bit of intellect for the extra right-click.
Yeah, could be.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I could see it. It's nice with the Grimstroke as well. You can get it. Well, it's weird, right? Because on the one hand, you can get a double ult, but on the other hand, then you're probably casting it where the fight actually is, so you're not really going to be building up it's not going to be building up the damage on the Wrath of Nature. So I do feel like Sparking Arrow, they need somebody to frontline for their team, and they need somebody that does building damage. And I'm not really sure what provides both of that, other than like maybe Lone Druid, but I don't think that hero is very meta.
What do you think about this TA pick into the Storm Spirit? Because Storm's one of those heroes that actually takes off the 2 refraction charges with each of his
it's still a winning matchup for TA. It's 100% a winning matchup for TA. At least in the lane. So I think it's just about the laning counter, and okay, Sparking Arrow. Just going to go for a Terrorblade. This is not looking like the easiest Terrorblade game, to be honest. Like, it's pretty decent against TA. I guess you're pretty high armor against Ricky, but the supporting cast from Vici is certainly decent against TB. And it's pretty... I would say their lineup is like fairly greedy, except they do have good laning supports. But I worry that this Ricky is just gonna destroy everybody. I think once Ricky gets his defusal, there are just free kills all over the map for him here. I guess we'll have to see how it all plays out. So Vici, they've got this series, like we said, they've got the series versus LGD later on. They're currently 4th. So if they win this one, they are then Are they out of... They're not completely out of reach of some of these teams below them. Because, like, eHome, Newbie, and RNG could all still be 5-4. So you actually need...
But maybe it goes to game score after that, and so if you've got fewer losses, then it's going to be better.
It might. I'm not actually sure what the tiebreaker rules are. It's not completely clarified on the Liquipedia page, at least. I could ask in the chat, but. All right, quick pause. Why not? We got Bane with some boots first here on Red Panda. So it's going to give him some nice positioning and some nice harassment potential in the lane. These rings of regen have become pretty popular. I guess a lot of people are just buying them because a lot of these heroes do build it into something useful a little bit later on, especially like the Pango. People go for... Oh, actually, I guess not really so much anymore on Pangolier. What are you going to be building? Not much.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because like I've loaded into my game and he's not in this either of these drafts, but I've still got the parrot necro portrait at the bottom of my screen.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a classic one. I've had that before with like you had a game and a Spectre just stomped, and then you load into the next game and it's like, oh, it's Spectre again, and definitely not in the game.
Just that stupid dopey face looking at me gets me.
He's great. Here, I'm gonna pull him up from my. While we're paused, everyone can look at Parrot Necro on with my loadout. It's good stuff. I do wish that I think the bottom beak moves. It's actually pretty well done, right? The eyes also blink and whatnot. Anyway, we're good to go. We won't focus on cosmetics too much. So we do have a boots first start on both sides here. PYW also picking up some boots on his Earthshaker. What is Terrorblade up to? He's just buying... Alright, that was triple slippers at the beginning. I think that's one too many slippers. Now he's selling. He's down to one slipper. He's really thinking about how he wants to spend this initial gold. And does he want... Okay, he's not going to get... Quelling. No salve. He's going to queue up Quelling and just buy 6 tangos.
And I'm interested to see if he goes into that Ring of Tarask as well. So one of those few heroes that still can reliably build it. It's great for him considering he has not the best HP pool, but a really good armor rating.
Vici just coming up here. Swipe the outpost. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I also haven't seen that much Terrorblade. The only Terrorblade that I saw was Eurus's Terrorblade yesterday, and I don't remember. I don't think he bought it that game. Guess we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled here. But there are plenty of players that love this casual Ring of Regen. Monet is definitely one of them as well. Red Panda is trying to snipe some runes here. Looks like he might be able to just walk this one off, but PYW is going to stay with him. And unfortunately, his TP is still on cooldown, so it's going to take a pretty nice juke to get him out of here. It looks like he's done it. Now he's heading back out. They see him again. Yang maybe going to try for some body blocks. They do have the Fissure off cooldown, but he's fast, and they want the Fissure to block the wave instead, so... Red Panda is out of there, and just going to be 2-2 bounty split across the map.
He'd be pretty happy with that. He had to use all of his tangos, though, which is a bit of a pain. He's leveled up the brain sap, so some sort of survivability in the lane. It's going to be rough.
Yeah, definitely going to need to get some stuff out. He's actually just getting a clarity on the courier so far. He is playing against a double melee lane, and Terrorblade already popping the Metamorphosis just to harass back a little bit. Bot lane... So OP and Felix trying to build up a little bit of armor to deal with the Riki. They've got a buckler and they've got a ring of protection on the Void Spirit, so that should help them deal with the Riki's pressure, though it does just seem like Riki's so good at harassing with the Blink Strike, with the charges, and utilizing the tricks of the trade as well. So he's still going to wear you down eventually, but they've got the items that I think they need with all this regen and also a salve.
And you can just continuously chase down as well. As soon as you get that level 2 with a Lich, he's got the Mango, so they're going to be ready to turn the team fight straight away.
Yep. POW still in the creep wave. Should not come as a big surprise, especially since they are not really in the best lane. The Pangolier definitely wants him to be pulling some creeps around. Of course, Bane, if he had level 2, could Nightmare him and reset the aggro, but... The other thing that has caught me out...
Here we go, OP.
Oh,
Dire's courier
yeah.
has been killed.
A little bit of pressure down here. Felix losing his courier. Now is he going to lose his life? Nope, he's going to be fine. The one thing that's caught me out about the Bane is that they changed his hotkeys around when they made Enfeeble a passive. Yeah, I understand, you know, people would probably prefer the first hotkey. Felix getting gone on here. I think he is very dead. Eurus looking for this kill. Doesn't even need to use any abilities, just walks it down, and there is first blood for Riki Maru. And this is definitely what you do not want to see happening if you're playing against a Riki. Like, if he gets off to a good start, like I said, I think this looks like an amazing Riki game.
Yeah, I mean, what do? You really need to itemize against it with a lot of these more squishy intellect cores. It's going to be rough.
Yeah, they're gonna need some force stabs for sure on the supports if they can. But yeah, they're already getting harassed pretty heavily down here. Mid lane fairly even so far. Red Panda actually gonna get the snipe on the courier, making great use of these boots early on and giving his team a little bit of a net worth lead.
He's taken 2 now already from both of the cores, I believe.
Yeah, he got Yangs, right?
Yeah. If he walked backwards, he might have been able to get the one from the Shaker too, but not quite.
PYW, I think he's hoping to grab some kind of a side pull or something here. Red Panda actually hoping to pull it up, so the battle is on, and it looks like neither one of them is going to get any kind of a pull off here. Bottom, Eurus chasing, but the wave's pretty far up, so not a whole lot of room to maneuver, but sparking out of this lane not going great. Oh, Yang getting gone on. Not the biggest swashbuckle away, and with that second metamorphosis, he is dead. Did they just... I guess they just nightmared him and then walked up. A couple of auto
you got
attacks.
2 right clicks on the Bane, and immediate follow-up with the Brain Sap.
Ooh, they're diving under the tower at bottom. That Inkswell doing some work. Eurus looking for this kill. Can he finish it off, though? No, he actually gets brought down. OP, one more auto attack from DY will do it, and he's standing his ground, but Felix with the stick charges. DY realizing that he's perhaps in a little bit too deep and just going to go for the TP out. He is TPing all the way back to the well. Ends up being a core for core trade. Yeah, there's a dive on DD. Rotation in from PYW to find the kill. And not enough that Red Panda could do to get there in time. At least they'll be able to grab this double damage, but that really sucks for the Storm Spirit getting ganked like that.
Just have a look around. Any stacks starting to build up? Nope. The mid lane has been hotly contested, so haven't had the chance or the freedom.
They're putting more damage onto Eurus. They know that the Lich isn't here, so really free to just keep pressuring him. And mid lane, TA level 5, really putting a lot of pressure on this Storm Spirit. Does he have... Okay, he's got a sentry right in the middle of the lane. Definitely going to be important for him, especially if he doesn't get his 6 anytime soon. And Red Panda is stacking up here, so nice so long as the Storm gets it and TA doesn't go in there and steal anything from him. Pressure on OP, but just because the bounty runes have spawned, they know that there's nobody in the lane. They're actually going to give this one over to the Storm, helping him out just that little bit more. Top lane, Terrorblade's low, but Yang getting body blocked here by Red Panda, just trying to force him out of the lane completely. Since he's not getting any help whatsoever from the Shaker is still very intently camping mid. PYW hoping that the Storm's going to make the rotation back into the lane pre-6, but it seems like DD just intent on jungling up until he gets that all-important Ball Lightning, and they are going to send the Grimstroke in to hold on to the tower.
Yeah. Nice mindset, though. You had PYW rotating through that entire time and dodging a lot of that. I suppose some of that comes from the vision that they've got safely in their jungle.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Yang still just getting harried by Bane at every turn. Does get a little disarm, so able to force him back, but there will probably be a Brain Sap, steal some of that HP. DD, he wants this level 6. He's almost got it, but not quite. The Soul Ring has become quite popular on Storm. I've actually seen it a lot in all of these CDA games.
Yeah, you can definitely use it Accelerates the farm, yeah, which you absolutely need early on. A lot more of these small items.
We're looking to go. He's not 6 yet. The XP's being stolen by all of the heroes. Oh, DD. That is so painful. DY was just sitting right on top of him, and they will get another kill on the Storm.
And they had Felix relatively close by, but I think, I was about to say, was he stacking? But no, he was just hanging around in the tri-camp area.
He may have wanted to, but not there in time. Yang once again getting gone on with the Metamorphosis. Terrorblade applying some pressure top. He did end up going for the Ring of Trask this game, so seemingly still fairly popular. PYW, is he trying to snipe a courier over here, or is this just a warding mission? There's a Nightmare on this Pango. He does have a Swashbuckle, could just head for the trees. He's actually got the Shaker coming in to help out. Red Panda not going to get stunned up, though. A little bit too fast, and TV just forced to keep on chunking on this tower. Not unhappy about that situation either. There is no Radiant Glyph currently, so just going to be forced to push them back. Ori now making the rotation top. Terrorblade does not have boots. This is not a great place for him to be, and TA just going to start working him down. Does get the Quelling Blade through the trees, and looks like he is going to be alright. No interest in chasing from Yang, he just wants to hang out over at the wave.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
BYW. Terrorblade has Sunder, but no mana for it, unfortunately, so just has to limp his way back to base. At least there's a Royal Jelly waiting for him there.
And that's so annoying, just having popped the clarity as well on that top side. Nighttime, so I don't know if that Observer Ward was spotted out by Sparking Arrows. So nice deep vision coming there for PYW.
Red Panda manages to come in and finish out the tower as Bane. Alright, nice.
He's having a really good game so far.
That's pretty value. Man, tower, 90 gold each.
Oof.
What a world, what a world. OP getting run at bottom. How is this rookie doing? 39 and 12. Void Spirit not having the best of times, and Eurus now just queuing up that Diffusal Blade. Ori rotating top, looking for another tier 1 tower for the team. Really opening up this dire side of the map to a lot of pressure. And if they can just hold on to the bottom and mid tier 1 towers, and this is a great exchange on the map for Vici. They're thinking about going on Eurus down here. Can they get a Nightmare? They do get the drag back in with the Remnant, but Eurus is fine. I was thinking maybe Nightmare into the guaranteed
Inkswell.
Yeah, well, Nightmare into like Aether Remnant, and that guarantees the Inkswell kind of thing. But instead, he's just fine, and the support rotation ends up being a little bit wasted.
Some very nice items coming out though from neutrals for Sparking Arrow especially. Being able to grab that Keen Optic, really useful for both the Bane as well as the Grimstroke.
Yeah, and I guess Faded Brooch, movement speed, slightly more value than previous. Ooh, trouble at bottom. That is going to be the Void Spirit brought down, and Eurus not done. Looking for Felix. He's got the tricks of the trade. Here comes the Inkswell. I don't know if the duration's going to be quite enough. He will be forced to retreat backwards, but still, they got the kill that they were really looking for. At least Terrorblade manages to come up here and capture an outpost, so get a little bit of experience going for his team, but it does seem like it's going to be... Is that quad bounties for Vici? Seems like it. Yeah, there's still one left. Oof. Well, that's going to give him a bit of a net worth lead. Net worth and experience. Both moving up. I guess they wanted to kill DY here. They put the Inkswell on OP, but didn't go for the jump forward, and that's going to be the end of that.
It's just a bait, bro, you know? It's not necessarily needed completely. Yang pump faking the Rolling Thunder a little bit.
Are they hunting Terrorblade? Putting on some pressure. They see him here, so I think Eurus just... maybe wait for the Rolling Thunder, swashbuckle in, Rolling Thunder coming now, they've got him slowed down, and some decent terrain here. He does have the Sunder. Will he get the chance to get it off is the question. No, Fisher perfectly timed from the Shaker, and Vici swoop in there with 4 heroes and grab the kill. Really need to get some D-wards going over here for Sparking Arrow, though actually the ward that killed him just timed out. And
that might bait them a little bit. The one hero that was having a decent time, and again, it really feels like this this top Observer Ward coming in quite handy. for Vici Gaming so far. It's not the most obvious one, and they placed it in inconspicuous time.
DY doesn't want to move too far forward. There's a remnant right in front of him. Just gonna go for the TP out now. He's okay. He TP'd tier 2. He's asking his team if they actually still want to try and defend this, but not gonna happen. DD just grabs the last hit, and Vici content to grab a little bit more farm and work on finishing up the Deso on the Templar Assassin. It feels like a slow Desolator, but then you look at, and TA is actually just super far ahead of everybody. It's just that nobody has that much gold to their names. And what is OP going for? So he's picked up an urn. Just going to be going for some phase bits. Actually takes the tome for himself, not having the best of games, though. They've only just barely got the level 6 on the Grimstroke, and Bane's still about half a level shy, but actually still prioritizing the Void Spirit with the levels.
Yeah, that Bane really needs to hit up into his level 6 to start to have that big teamfight potential, not only for the combination together with the Grimstroke, but such great ulti, Pango ulti piercing sustain.
It's a nice ward here. See Vici kind of moving in. Should be able to get the D ward though quickly. DY removes it. Over on the other side, Yang putting on some pressure, wants to steal this back from OP, and looks like he's going to be fine to do so. He's got his Vlad's picked up, so nice sustain. And he's going to be A-okay. TA has... Wait. TA has queued up an Aghanim Scepter.
I mean, it allows you to keep the waves pushed, I suppose. And
yes. Gank with Ricky? I don't know.
Gank with Ricky. I mean, I suppose on a Sparking Arrow, Grimstroke wants to be pushing out a lot of these lanes, and so you are able to catch him out a lot. Or, at the very worst, he's forced to spend a ton of gold on these sentry wards to get rid of your traps in the lane.
But why not blink? What's the... Oh, Yang is he gonna get the Rolling Thunder off? Not quite. Fiend's Grip is there. Big zip in from the Storm Spirit. And 4-man gank successful from Sparking Arrow. There is also a smoke from Vici, though. Still thinking about this fight even without the Pangolier. Hoping to find something. Do they have any vision, though? They see the Storm Spirit all the way at top with not a whole lot of mana, so they might just try and cut him off on the retreat back. DD maybe realizing something's afoot here is just going to TP his way back to the fountain. Vici have the high ground. Red Panda gonna get gone on. Over on the other side, Void Spirit looking for this Earthshaker, but he's got an Echo Slam ready to go. Drops it out, hardly finds anything as Felix and OP actually looking okay. I don't think they're gonna get that TP on the Grimstroke. And OP getting slowed up. Doesn't have the Astral Step, but will be okay. So just the two supports dying on the side of Sparking Arrow, and they get one support back in exchange. The fight actually continuing here. Storm wanting to zip forward. What's he actually going for? DY's found him, and here comes the smoke screen. That's a jump way too far for DD. Terrorblade can't really stand and fight. Yang looking to roll right on top of him. The Centaur getting involved, actually, as it locks down the side of Vici. They can't keep moving forward, and now the Terrorblade comes in, doing the damage. They will lose the Lich, but Red Panda getting gone onto it. Now all they need to do is turn onto the TB and focus him down. He's disarmed, he's silenced, he's dead. No opportunity to use the Sunder, and a 4-for-1 fight in Vici's favor. Even without the defusal on the Ricky.
Yeah, enormous victory there for Vici. For Vici with the Storm going in, getting caught out, the instant Sinister Gaze coming through from the Lich, doing work, you know, to be able to lock down a Pos 2 as the hard support, and then of course the Metamorphosis pop 2 by the TB. So even when he comes back online, he's going to have about 2 minutes where he's a walking melee creep.
Yeah, and all it takes is that one small disable to start it off, and they've got more than enough chain lockdown for your Storm Spirit. Aegis now picked up on the Templar Assassin. Ori does seem to be committing to the Aghanim Scepter here.
UIW, he's got his blink as well, so next team fight's going to go very clearly in Vici's favor.
Yeah, and they've got a very comfortable net worth lead at this point. I feel like I need to recalibrate as well, in terms of like, oh, what do I think is a big net worth lead at like this point in the game? Because I think Vici are actually winning this game super hard. But just a 6k lead, lots and lots of farm on the Templar Assassin though, and once they get, they've got the Diffusal on Ricky, so Eurus is just going to be an absolute menace, and Yang even able to come and push out mid lane however he wants. They're playing really aggressively on the dire side of the map. Terrorblade doing his best to keep bot pushed out at least somewhat, get the siege creep in here, but Vici just going to swoop all the way across the map. Storm Spirit a little bit low on mana, but does have a DD bottled, and Vici, tough decision here about whether or not they actually want to go down and try and defend that tier 2 tower or push them out of their jungle. Does seem like they're just instead going to go for the tier 2 mid themselves. So nice for Sparking Arrow to find a trade even when they're at such a big deficit and the Aegis is in the hands of Vici Gaming. Though we'll see if it actually ends up being a trade. Does seem like it though.
Yeah, they should be happy too. I mean, both sides, honestly. Vici want to keep the pressure up. They've got the Aegis. They want to force the reaction from Sparking Arrow, but Sparking Arrow need to make something happen as well.
They've got the high ground ward. Storm Spirit needs to be careful with the timing here. PYW is hoping to catch him. He's heading back, but they've already lost half HP on this tier 3 tower. Ori doing good, really good damage. Terrorblade going to do the same thing, try and force up onto the high ground and get some kind of a reaction, but I don't think Vici are actually too worried about this tiny bit of chip. They are going to send back DY to deal with it at the very least, but Ori just going to stay up here farming. 1,200 gold away from finishing the Aghanim Scepter, and then I guess we'll just have to see what kind of shenanigans start after that.
Smoke coming through for the Bane. Are they keen to go? Oh, DD actually not getting caught by it.
He can still jump. Yeah, they got the Metamorphosis up, but Yang ready to break the smoke. He is going to get caught out, taunted in, and will be brought down. Echo Slam, PYW looking for the turnaround, but they don't actually have everybody here, and the TA is being gripped up. He's at least got the Aegis. Yang buying back into the game. Storm Spirit a little bit light on the mana department. Eurus going to come in here and try and cover the TA on the respawn, but it's straight into a Remnant, and that is straight into a double kill for Sparking Arrow.
What a turnaround to be able to grab that one. Will they go mid though? That's the big question, because that'll refresh the glyph. It's sitting at currently a 3-minute cooldown. If they rotated through top or bottom, they might be able to get some good tower damage done, but no, going for the safe option.
This mid tower is just too important, right? Gotta take it out, get some Roshan control back, and definitely a nice little bit of extra gold here as the Terrorblade keeps on working towards his Manta style.
I mean, you saw there, Yang bought back and was instantly able to get back in the fight, but unfortunately, TA just getting dropped down quickly.
Well, you better hope that this Ag is going to do some work, right? And it doesn't just end up being a dead item for Ori, because it has kind of changed his progression in this game significantly, right? He could have Blink already and be making his way towards a BKB or something at this point.
Maybe it's just him realizing if I'm off on my own farming in a risky position, I'm getting that valuable solo XP and enabling the rest of my team to pick up the slack. So like a farming accelerator item.
Yeah, I do think it's going to enable some kind of crazy Ember-esque plays. Yeah, he can go TP to defend if needed, and then be able to rejoin the team, that kind of a thing. But yeah, I'm curious. I don't think I've actually seen this item a single time in a competitive match. So
okay. And he's gone for the movement speed as well instead of the psionic trap damage, because he knows that he needs every one of those traps around the map. He can't just be popping them.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna have to completely change your playstyle though. I think you're gonna have to think about this in a completely different way. So.
Well, he's got it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So what's it got? It's got a. Wait. So why does it say cool? It says cooldown 30, but then I'm hovering the ability and it says 15. I'm confused. Which
Ice
one?
Frog works in mysterious
Which
ways.
one is it? Which one is it, Dan?
I'm more interested in wanting to see him go onto this one on the dire high ground and just snap one of these supports.
Break that man in half.
Yeah.
Alright, he's TPing back, but of course he can join his team if needed. Anywhere that there's a trap, the Templar Assassin can be... How long is the channel? It's 1 second. Okay, so it's not that bad. Okay. So they're showing the Templar Assassin top, but they know Sparking Arrow have to know that he's got this Aghanim Scepter, so they shouldn't be caught unawares, though they are still looking for this fight somewhat. They're jumping in onto the Riki. They do get the 2-man. He's making his way over now. Lich is the target. They've got the Fiend's Grip onto the Riki. He gets out for a second. Red Panda getting interrupted. Eurus looking for the escape, hopping over to the creep. Looks like he's okay. Where is the Templar Assassin? Ori has arrived at the fight. The Metamorphosis is being popped. Yang is the target, trying to hop away with the shield crash, but one more auto attack will do it. And he is the only casualty of this fight. Alright, Ori
misplaying that time. He actually ended up killing Yang, walking near to him when he had the Soulbind on top of him. Meant that the TB was just free to start attacking that whirling ball of death.
Oh, okay, I didn't even... I was busy watching the Riki getting ran at. But... alright, TA, you got... Like, do you... Is there any situation where you consider using it to, like, go and cut a wave and then TP out? I feel like we're not going to see the true potential of this thing, this game. It's just so weird. You have to play TA in such a different way to...
I think it's something where if you're like, yeah, sure, he's first on the net worth. I think you need to have a much more commanding lead as top net worth, that you're forcing the enemy team to try and shove out waves with their supports, and then you can go for these valuable support pickoffs. Just, you only commit yourself, they just drop down immediately, you've still got your Desolator, you've still got a ton of damage, and it's fine.
I feel like he's still mostly just using it, like, mostly just using the traps for vision, currently. Well, trying to cap this outpost with DY, big zip in, but the Storm Spirit straight into the stuns, not where you want to be, DD. He can't afford to keep on zipping like this, and now Ori, alright, he appears. He's found one further kill. Red Panda gonna go for the TP out. Do they have an interrupt? Yes, they do. PYW jumping forward. Ori, 2 seconds to go. He could jump to mid, actually. Is he gonna consider it? He sees them on this trap.
Do it, do.
Maybe a little bit crazy, 2v1, but...
Nice jump by PYW as well, making sure to get on the other side of the Void Remnant. Make sure he didn't get stunned up while finishing off that Bane.
Give him a little bit of extra protection. So Storm dead for 10. They do not have a glyph. Alright, Ori's going to be just fine. Just stops short of the Aether Remnant, and Tier 3 tower dead.
Still 1.5 minutes until the next glyph's up online. I mean, essentially it's a Boots of Travel, right? That's what the Ags is.
Kind of.
I mean, it's quicker channel time. It still does damage when you land there.
Right, but you can only TP to where you have a trap. I really think that Sparking Arrow needs to be doing a... If you see this, you've got to just get a gem, right? Someone needs to buy gem, and then they can kind of shut it down a little bit. DY getting gone on, will be caught out, will be killed. Nobody really nearby on the Radiant side. Just a free little pick, get some Bloodstone charges back for DD.
You just need 400 IQ to be able to play it perfectly, you know?
Yeah, oh, well, you know, he just hopped bottom to come cut a wave here. So, you know, doesn't need to TP to the creeps, can just sit here and cut for a little bit. It's back up in 3 seconds. Does give him a ton of wrap potential, right? He could go mid, he could clear things out there a little bit. He's just hiding for now. Alright, now he's gone back to the mid lane. Roshan's going to be up in 37 seconds time, but we are battling for bounty runes currently, and it does seem like Sparking Arrow getting 3 of 4.
Yeah.
Paladin Sword for Terrorblade. Yeah, definitely nice. Do they have... He doesn't have any lifesteal other than the Paladin Sword, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think oh no, that's on Radiant. The Pango has the Vlads.
Yeah, Pango's got a Vlads. And he did eventually build that ring into the hood. So there you go. Got some value out of it. But both teams probably looking to contest this. Roshan, Aegis, and Cheese up for grabs. Going to be super difficult to come and contest Roche when you're playing against this Templar Assassin, though Ori isn't completely free to just go split push however he wants. Even with the BKB, they do have the BKB piercing disable from the Bane, so Ori's still going to have to show at least a little bit of respect. And now going back for a Nullifier.
Well, Eurus has finished up a crit stick, so they're ready to go.
Yeah, oh man, this Riki is actually doing so much damage. And do they have vision up this high ground? I do not believe so. Oh, they've actually got a little bit. So it's kind of smoking to their vision. PYW going to be looking for the jump. Who can he find? Fisher's there. They're going to try and interrupt him. Ghost Scepter for the Grimstroke. Felix driving a little bit longer. He does get the Soulbind out. Trouble for Riki getting dragged through. Yang splitting up the fight, but Riki's already gone. And that's a double kill for DD. At least they do get the Void Spirit on the way out. But Lich also getting caught out by Red Panda. That's going to be one more on the chopping block for the Terrorblade. Another Bloodstone charge for the Storm Spirit. And with that, Sparking Arrow now heading into the pit. They got nothing out of Riki, and they got basically nothing other than one Fisher out of the Shaker.
They know they don't want to let this happen. They're just trying to delay until that Earthshaker is able to come in with that Blink Echo Slam. So, looks like it's enough to dissuade them away. They didn't even end up having to use the Fiend's Grip either in that encounter. So, Vici very, very cautious right now.
Yeah, gotta be careful. I'm surprised that... I guess the respawns weren't that long. But I'm surprised that just the Lich buyback was enough to get them to bail. I suppose Yang still has Rolling Thunder, so pretty difficult to fight against the Pango in and around the pit area. And Metamorphosis is now out. Terrorblade is queuing up a Rapier next. So Sparking Arrow actually feeling like their backs at least somewhat up against the wall. Or maybe the plan was just, hey, I'm gonna get... If I get Aegis, then Rapier is gonna be kind of awesome.
Maybe he wants that True Strike to do with the Riki.
True. Also a possibility. Riki just gonna be going for a BKB. Ori has found himself a little double damage here. So I wonder if Vici are gonna consider maybe forcing... They don't have any more vision up on the high ground anymore. Both teams just vision on their side for this Roshan attempt. Vici are in there. Mid lane getting pushed out a little bit by the Storm. Ori making his way over, and looks like they are going to force this here. Sparking Arrow, what do they know? They're going to try and scout this out. Sending the Remnant forward. The smoke screen is down. They send in the Illusion, but the Aegis and Cheese have already been claimed. And that is going to be Aegis for the Riki and a Cheese for the Templar Assassin. And this trap is still just scouting everybody here at mid. They see where see that they're heading over towards this high ground, and Yang eager to take a fight, but they need to be careful. They're sitting right underneath the Dire Observer Ward, so Sparking Arrow, they've got full information. They could just go for the Templar Assassin first. Who will they manage to get the jump on? There's the Soulbind. Nothing to protect this Pangolier. The drag through. Can they keep Yang alive? Looks like the Fisher actually breaking up the fight beautifully. PYW finds a turnaround, and now the Echo Slam. OP also dead, and Yang rolling forward looking for Terrorblade. He's not particularly fast, and Ori's jumped forward on top of him, waiting for this meld hit. He can't get the Sunder off. Double kill for your Templar Assassin. Felix looking like the next target. The support's trying to bail one another out, but the core is all dead currently, so the buybacks will begin to be forced out. Storm Spirit doesn't want to use his, apparently. Nor does the Terrorblade.
I don't know about that jump in that came through from the Storm Spirit. It left him a bit vulnerable, and the TB still had 5-10 seconds left on his Metamorphosis, so he isn't in the mood to fight.
Yeah, I think he saw the good Soulbind, and he was like, all right, I gotta try here, and then they just couldn't finish anybody off, and that was kind of the end of that. They're just hoping for the respawn. Storm Spirit up in 10 seconds, but they're losing the second lane of Rax here. Tier 3 dead. Vici moving forward onto the next one. How much can Storm actually do? Terrorblade dead for 20, and that's 2 lanes down. 15k lead in favor of Vici, and they are just going to back up safely, go and grab a couple more items, have the full Orchid now completed on the Templar Assassin, and go from there. What's happening here? Eurus is scouting. Spots DD. This is big damage. They will manage to Eul's him up, but here comes the Chainstone, the Bloodstone heal, helping him out a little bit. but it's just way too much damage as Templar Assassin arrives. They will drop the Fiend's Grip onto the Riki, but that's just the Aegis, life number 1, and Yang sees his target rolling forward onto Terrorblade. PYW following it up with the Chain Stun. They will need the Sunder, buyback from the Storm Spirit. Eurus finding his target. TB, can he get out of here? Yes, he can. Manta, he's still got the Sunder, hasn't found a target to use it on just yet, as Eurus does just manage to jump away. Great blink. Yang running forward, looking for Red Panda. They're going to get on top of the Terrorblade. Can they prevent the Sunder? Yes, they can with the Echo Slam. And that is the end of this one. Sparking Arrow Gaming calling the GG and will be ending their CDA run here with a 7-2 overall. Still number one.
7-2.
Yeah, they were 7-0 up until yesterday, right?
Yeah. Did they play that with a stand-in as well, or
no? Yesterday they had their full roster.
Maybe he still wasn't at 100%, and we can give them a bit of leeway for that. They showed, without any shadow of a doubt, that they were, I would say, the strongest team in this league so far.
For sure. And the record will definitely reflect that. Vici moving up a little bit in the world. They are now 5-3, with one series left to play. That's going to be later today, up against LGD. But yeah, it is going to end up being a 2-0.
Just having a quick look at the bounty board as well for all of this. So at the end of the day. Let me just do some quick math. So CNY, let's use US dollars.
Okay.
They're going to earn themselves 31k, which ain't bad on Sparking Arrow.
Okay, and then add the what's first place? It's 150.
Oh yeah, that's with the added amount. So it's about 220 Chinese yuan.
Okay.
220k, not 220.
Yeah. So 220k all up. Is, okay. Cool.
70,000 from the win bounties, and then the 150 for first place. So, pretty nice.
Yeah. So the win bounties are actually end up being a pretty significant portion of what teams are earning in this, right? Like that's.
I mean, especially with how even it's gone, right? If you're not first or maybe second, it basically makes up half of your amount.
Yeah. Well, makes every single match important, and we've definitely seen some. We've seen some cool games. Any other thoughts on this series, Danog? It really, I think, just solid play and solid drafting from Vici all around. Like nothing crazy out of the ordinary. Maybe the Aghanim Scepter from the TA was like the weirdest thing that we saw from
New
Vici.
meta, man. that's all it is. Maybe, I mean, it didn't really seem like Sparking Arrow were trying anything too out of the ordinary. I thought maybe, considering they had this one all wrapped up, they might try and experiment with a few things, considering it is their first official on the new patch.
I don't know how much they've been playing stuff like Void Spirit off lane and like the Necrophos safe lane. I think those were slight deviations, but those are still deviations within what we've seen and expect from this patch, right? Mm-hmm. I just don't know if that's been their go-to necessarily. So yeah, a little bit of a change up, but nothing too crazy.
And you could tell that, like, Vici, they needed that win a bit more to really cement themselves up towards the top side of this. You know, they've still got their second match coming up today. Not next, but it's the third one against PSG LGD. Mm-hmm. And next up, we've got Newbie versus Keen Gaming. So both of those should be pretty competitive series, but the last one's the one I'm really looking forward to. Yeah,
it should be good. We do have a bit of a break, guys, so we're playing to the schedule. Which does mean that our next series is going to be starting in about an hour. The 1v1 will probably be starting in like 40 minutes or so. So definitely tune back in for that one. I'll throw up a countdown on the screen, but it's hard to say exactly when the 1v1 will start. It normally gets hosted around like 25 minutes, 20 minutes before. But then it depends on how long it takes the two players to get in there and how eager they are to get going right away. So I'll do my best with the countdown, but do know that the 1v1 could kind of start at any time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying all the coverage of CDA League. I'm definitely having a great time bringing it to you, and we'll be back after that 40 or so minute break for our next series. Hopefully catch you then.